All right. Hello, everyone. I think I am live. All right. Good to be here with you all. I hope that you're all hanging in there. This energy is so intense. Politically, we have the eclipse energy. I think there's been some solar flare activity as well. All right. Let's see. But welcome. Thank you all for the support and being here. I'm going to take a look at some of the political and current event questions that you sent. I did get some questions sent on a post that I put up as well. So I'll kind of go back and forth between the chat and the questions submitted. A lot of the questions look like they're repeating, so take a look at the big stuff for sure. All right. All right, just a couple of announcements and we'll go ahead and get started, you guys. As always, please do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please make sure you hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I'm going live. Typically, I do live shows. I was supposed to get together with Susan Lynn this week. She wasn't feeling the best for a live show, so we'll get that rescheduled. Just a couple of announcements for upcoming shows. I should be on her channel next Tuesday. I think the Spiritual Way Showers channel, and we're going to talk about Reiki and do a healing experience. If she's not feeling better, I'll do something live on this channel, but and I'll post that on the community board, so make sure you check that out. I think we could all use some uplifting, loving, peaceful Reiki energy right now, help kind of shift this current energy. Anybody that's interested for my students or anybody that's a level 2 Reiki practitioner or higher, I'm going to be doing my September Reiki share. I do those monthly for September 27th at 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern. So not tomorrow, but the following Saturday. Got to double check with Melly. He's in Peru right now. I'm not sure if he'll be back by next Thursday or not. If he's back, we'll do a show. If not, hopefully the following week. I do have some Reiki classes if anybody's interested in that. We got a couple spots left open for October 26th and November 16th. That's a level 1 and 2 class. I think I have 3 spots left open for that. And then I did just add a class for the new year, so January 10th and 31st for level 1 and 2 Reiki. It's a great time to talk about energy healing, focusing on the foundations and history of Reiki, and also using it as a means, as a tool for you on your journey for growth and development, as well as focusing in on self-healing in the level 1 class, and then we focus in on treating others and sending Reiki to world situations in the level 2 class. So I'd love to have you if you'd like to join us for that. Anybody that's already got level 2 training for at least 6 months, really familiar with the level 2 symbols. I am doing the Holy Fire Reiki Masterclass, and this will be my first class, November 28th through the 30th. So it's a 3-day class, back to back, where we'll learn more advanced tools, expand upon your Reiki knowledge and the connection to Reiki. If you'd like to teach, you can do that, or even give placements and attunements to others. And the class is very deeply healing as well, transformational, with shifting your own frequency. I'm still feeling effects from my master level class that I took to help guide, to use it as a guide frame for teaching it. So if you'd like to join us for that, all the information for that is on the website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. And I was having some glitches with Wix. There were a couple people reaching out, having a hard time booking sessions. I have them looking into it, but if you have like an error pop up if you're trying to book for the class or book a Reiki or reading with me, just hit refresh on the page and it should clear it for you. All right. Hopefully that's all fixed here soon, but that was coming up as well. And I have openings for readings and Reiki appointments into October. All right. I think that's enough for announcements. Got some people joining us. Excuse me. Yeah, we're all feeling a bit uneasy right now, Dawn. I was struggling a bit this morning, just felt like I had so much debris in my aura space. Um, Luckily, I had two clients that were doing Reiki appointments, so I've felt a lot more grounded and kind of cleared some of that out myself. But yes, energy is very intense. It's very heightened right now. Remember, the guides have been saying September is a huge month. We kind of need things to escalate for there to be that boiling point and for that positive change that we're all looking for. All right. So we'll get some questions started. Yeah, Susan was feeling a little under the weather, Antoinette's granddaughter. We'll get that rescheduled soon. Yep. Definitely taking a look at freedom of speech, Jimmy Kimmel. All right. Let's just see. And please be mindful that I am juggling, keeping up with the chat and looking at all of your comments and questions, as well as tapping into that intuitive channel as well. Um, so I think I make it look a little bit easier than what it is, but if it takes me a minute to read into the questions, that's why. Just trying to keep up with everybody and everything coming in. Mm. Yes, I love this. I'm going to deep breathe and focus on grounding. It seems to help. Yes. I think if we can all just focusing on being present, focus on the things that we're in control of, our own empowerment and development, it does really help. I agree, Deanne. And yeah, the grounding aspect of it all. I think we're all feeling really unsettled right now. I think more big things to happen before it starts to calm down. So, Earth Mama doesn't feel like this energy is as hard as the lunar eclipse. See, it's affecting me a lot worse. So, but to each, the full moons affect me differently. I have not slept well the last few days. I just feel like something big about to happen. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Teresa. Appreciate that. Yes, self care so important right now. All right, I think I got caught up. All right, you guys, let's take a look at your questions. Thank you for being patient with me. Let's start off with the big news going on right now. Laura says the FCC chair is working for Trump to go after his enemies. Jimmy Kimmel yesterday, and now he's threatening The View. Will somebody stop them? Let's take a look. I will say just my first intuitive impression is I don't feel Jimmy Kimmel's just going to back down and not speak up. I actually feel like he may have a lawsuit. Um, he may be filing a lawsuit here soon. But it's interesting that they're talking about threatening like The View, because I don't have the best feeling about that, to be honest with you guys. So we can actually take a look at both. The thing is that they can try to stifle our free speech, but they're not going to be successful with it. People are going to stand up. People are going to resist this administration. So they can try to quiet us. They can try to control us or put us in a place of fear. It's just going to amplify people standing up even more. So let's take a look at Jimmy Kimmel. I feel like he's going to be just fine. Like I said, I do feel filing a lawsuit. And I do feel like him and the network going back and forth, because I think that the network's getting a lot of backlash. Oh, interesting. Standing up for our power, speaking our truth, clear communication with the Ace of Swords. He's going to speak out. The truth will be heard. cards. I think he's been thinking about the next chapter for him as well. He's been really reflective on with the Eight of Cups, what's serving him on his path, really going within and wanting to kind of change things up. And I think we're all kind of intuitively feeling that way. I mean, Eight of Cups is a perfect card for this eclipse energy too. It's a time to go within and really reflect on what's serving us, and those things that are no longer serving us for the past, clearing those. He's celebrated above him. He's going to be just fine. That network is going to have some issues, though. Is it Disney? Because there's a big judgment here on top of them. Yeah, he's going to speak the truth. Returning to the past. Yeah. It does look like there's some changes here. So moving on to other job opportunities with the Five of Pentacles. But this gives him a time to reflect on love and things that really matter to him. He hasn't been, I don't think he's been the most happy. He's been contemplating this for a while, leaving the network on his own terms, though. Some healing, shifting his own frequency, and a new beginning with the Fool here. Let's ask, I want to see, is he gonna sue the network? Because I feel like there's a lawsuit here. Yeah, ABC, yeah. All these networks bending to Trump. You know, the thing is that they're gonna, I don't even understand why they're letting him go, because from what I heard, he wasn't talking bad about CK at all. He was calling out, you know, the Republicans, you know, trying to politicize the violence and the hate and blame the other side for it. So I don't see him apologizing. He did nothing wrong. Jimmy Kimmel going to file a lawsuit. Let me just pull this down. Okay, there's a bit of delay. I feel like they're going back and forth right now, but he's disappointed with their actions. I do feel like they try to offer him something. I feel like there's some big money here coming his way too. Could even be threats of a lawsuit, and then, you know, there's some kind of settlement, some financial settlement here. Yeah, there's some kind of financial offer. But he's going to continue to speak out. Stand up to the bully here, Trump. And I do feel like there's going to be a big turning point with Trump here soon. I've always said I don't see him staying and finishing out his full term. I would be surprised if he's still in there by the end of this year. But if not, definitely by midterms. But we can all see that Trump's energy is fading. All right. But I see Kimmel being just fine. Has he already filed a lawsuit? I have not heard that. Let's take a look at the View too, because I want to see if they're going to be the next ones that they target. Because I was kind of picking that up intuitively. Yeah, we'll take a look at Patel. I don't see Patel in there for much longer, Nita. Yeah, Trump's energy at the UK banquet. He's fading. Absolutely. All right. Sorry, I feel like you probably all see this pesky fly's been bothering me all day, and I just saw him on the screen. But he has been wanting to bug me all day today during my readings and Reiki sessions. Four of Swords here. There's some kind of retreat, taking a step back. All right. They're going to target the view next. They're feeling a bit trapped. They're feeling restricted. There's a hidden agenda here. Yeah, I do feel like they're going to target the view next. I'm sorry to say, you guys. You have the Eight of Swords, so they're feeling trapped and restricted. It's out of their control. The co-host of the view. You know, you have the network and Trump making deals here in private. There's a hidden agenda here because he wants to be in control. You know, he's a dictator. And show of force with the Strength card. But the thing is that they're trying to dismiss and quiet everybody, and this is just going to get more and more people out there speaking their truth. So they're not going to be successful with their goals here. And I see one of the co-hosts on The View, I haven't watched it in years, really speaking out, really trying to take control of the situation. There's some changes here. Yeah. But there's a fight here too, all right? So just, you know, just to put it on your radar, I do think that The View will be targeted next. But this can't, it's not going to continue to go on and on. You know, at some point, it's not going to stop people from speaking up, to standing up against the bully, against the dictator, all right? All right. You guys, I feel like I've read enough about CK. I really don't feel like going back into that. All right. It was all for a distraction, and I'm staying focused on everything else going on. Maybe it's Rosie coming up and fighting back. Yes, that's Rosie O'Donnell called that they would target The View after they did Culper 2 months back. Yeah. Maybe even Joy stepping up as well. We have power here too. You know, we can always cancel our subscriptions to their apps, not give them the views on those shows. I mean, the thing is, you know, the wealthy people are going to continue to be wealthy. The people in charge, it does hurt the people that they employ, but also too, you know, we have power in there too. They lose a lot of money and stand up to them. At some point, you know, how long is that going to last? Yes, weapons of mass distraction. Absolutely, Mark. Yep, they need our money. Absolutely. Everybody's saying that they canceled their subscriptions. I hear you. I was not paying for ABC's or Disney's subscriptions, so I was good there. ABC. All right. Kind of read on that already, so. All right, we read on Jimmy Kimmel. Julian wants us to look at the No Kings March in October. Let's do that. Antoinette's granddaughter, YouTube is really the new TV. Absolutely. I will say too, in this intense energy, I was getting a hit of being pulled to Ukraine, and as I've said before, with September, Putin was coming up on the radar. So something significant happening with Ukraine. I was seeing the Ukrainian flag popping up clairvoyantly. And I do also feel like there's going to be, with this current energy, a lot more earth activity, big quakes like in the Pacific Ring of Fire. I even feel like there may be another volcano that's about to go. I'm being pulled to Alaska, so up north, Japan, and then kind of like in the South Pacific area, like New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, those kind of areas in there, some activity. Could be something in the Middle East too for like an earthquake. Just want to share that before I forgot it. All right, no King's March in October. Ooh, Trini says that there was an earthquake in Alaska yesterday. Oh, and they had another 7.8. Interesting. All right, no King's March, October. People are standing up. They're sitting in their strength and fighting the devil. It's like a war, a spiritual war between good and evil is what I'm feeling. People are hurting. Their finances aren't good. People are being laid off. And I even see Republicans. You know, the thing is with all of this too, even Republicans, like a lot of the podcasters make their money being able to freely say whatever they want. So even a lot of them are against this censorship of, taking away our freedom of speech here. So it's even, I see a lot of divisions within MAGA too. People are standing up. They're tired of it. People are pissed off and they're ready to fight back. We are the magician. We have the tools at our disposal to be successful, and we will be successful here. This is a turning point. New beginnings on the horizon with the Fool. And I know we're all feeling very emotionally triggered too. We're pissed off. We're angry. And we're tired. You know, it's been such a long battle for all of us. This is a lot of people standing up and standing in their power. You know, people hurting. So we're going to stand up and peacefully protest. I'm not getting the tower here, but I do feel like there's a big turnout for this No King's March. As I've said before, though, I do feel like things may escalate. So be very, go out and protest, but use your intuition and be very aware of your surroundings. If something doesn't feel quite right, just be very observant in those situations. So I do feel like some of them may be targeted, but I see people standing up, standing in their power, fighting back. All right. Yeah, we can take a look at Venezuela, Trini. All right. Will Michigan get a Democratic governor next year? Let's take a look at that. That's a good question. I haven't heard of anybody running. I'll say intuitively I'm picking up on a male energy, but I do feel like it's going to stay blue. Is there any male Democrats announcing that they're going to run? Yes, they already have a Democratic governor, Kathy. I feel Michigan's staying blue. Ace of Cups, blue overflowing. I kind of take that as like a blue wave. Queen of Pentacles. I don't know if that's Gretchen Whitmer here. I get a yes. The Magician here, so Democrats having the magic. I feel like this candidate's going to be a strong fighter here. Fool, there's new beginnings here. And bringing in that passion and charisma. I feel like it's going to stay put. All right. I had the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe it's a female. I was picking up intuitively it might be a male. Male is the energy that came through. But I'm not sure of any candidates. I haven't heard of any that are running for the governor's race in Michigan. And the mayor of Detroit is independent. Okay. I feel good about the Democrats, though, Mark. And I think early voting started in Virginia. And I see Abigail Spanberger winning that race. I feel like the House and Senate races are going to go very well for Democrats. Not sure if they have both chambers now, but I feel like them getting both of them. And even in New Jersey, I see a big Democratic turnout there as well. Oh, thank you, Carol. We had a good Reiki session today. Appreciate that. Yes, if possible, try to put your questions in all caps. It just helps me to see that that's a question. I don't have any help in the background. It's all on me, so it does help me to see them. All right. I just saw a question and now I feel like I lost it. Okay. Laura wants to know, the Texas gerrymandering is now under review by judges with the help of lawsuits. Will the new maps be overturned or allowed to stay? You know, I did feel that they were going to gerrymander the maps and change them. And I still feel that way. But what my guides were telling me is that it's going to backfire because Democrats are going to come out so much that they've actually hurt themselves in some solid Republican districts. They've kind of skewed it to make more of the leaning Republican or Democratic districts a little bit more red, that they are actually going to lose in some of those more solidly red districts. So I see it going through, but that it's going to actually hurt them. All right. And we're going to see Democratic states starting to do this as well. Like California, I see that amendment passing and them being able to change their maps as well. All right. Yes, we'll take a look at government shutdown. I did hear that it passed the House, Kathy, but it gets sent to the Senate for the CR, the continuing resolution. All right. So Barbara wants to know, what does King Charles really think of 45? Let's take a look there. I don't know about Charles, but I almost feel like William was like really offended by Trump while he was there too. I don't feel like Charles is a big fan. I think he kind of thinks he's a buffoon. It's a word that came to me. But like Charles was kind of pissed off with him, or William was kind of pissed off with him. I haven't been watching the news much. I did see some some clips of him falling asleep during when Charles was speaking, and like eating his spaghetti all weird, but or pasta or whatever they were eating. And then when I had Lori on, was it earlier this week or last week? I think it was earlier this week. We said he wasn't going to be doing well with like the health. He wasn't going to be feeling that well while he was there, and I think that was pretty evident. All right, just throw a couple cards. Charles, what does he think of 45? All right, well, we have the Five of Cups, which is a card of grief, sadness. Could just be very upset with the state of the world and affairs. Kind of trying to pull away from him with the Hermit. And I feel like Charles is kind of going through some stuff himself. With the health, he doesn't feel very good to me. Definitely some changes going on in the royal, in their monarchy, you know, not tomorrow, but in the near future. Something happened behind the scenes that kind of shook him up, I guess. Because you have the moon, which is illusions, delusions, kind of doing things in the dark. And then the tower, there's a bit of an implosion here. Something very shocking with him. And I feel like it has to do with William, because I'm getting like a younger male coming in here with the Page of Pentacles. He doesn't think very well of Trump. We'll say that. I don't feel like he's a big fan. Oh, let's see. Janet says, I think William was ticked off by the way he was harassing her, Kate. Okay. That would be it then. Because I feel William was really ticked off. I'm sure he handled it good, but I kind of feel like, yeah, he was pretty angry. Let's see, how was Kate feeling? Yeah, good question, Ness. Yeah, I think Charles has pancreatic cancer. So he's not feeling very well himself. All right, how's Kate feeling sitting next to Trump? Poor Kate. Having to sit next to that awful smell. Queen of Wands, she's kind of fiery. I think she probably played nice, but she can have a bit of a temper herself too, Queen of Wands. Yeah, I mean, she was kind of trapped in the situation. There's not really a whole lot that she could do. But she's still strong. I don't see it affecting her as much as it did William. William was really ticked off. Interesting, though. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear her kind of voicing her opposition to it, because she's got the Queen of Swords here who speaks her truth. And then the Five of Wands here, which can be like some kind of verbal conflict here. There's some conflict here that I see. Strength, she's strong. I'm not getting like that really anger energy with her, but I see her standing up, speaking truth. And you have the Page of Swords here too, which is a bit of like, kind of like my whistleblower card. So she might actually speak up on this. For her, I almost feel more disgust rather than anger. Ocean Garden, it says she's used to dealing with children. That's true. She's maybe got a little bit more patience than maybe William. And Margaret says, I think William was upset with Trump's lack of respect for protocol too. Yeah, he's never had that though. I mean, even was it like at some of the UN stuff? He was like pushing other leaders out of the way. He doesn't care about respect or protocol or being disciplined. So yeah. All right, you guys, I want to take a look at government shutdown. I was meaning to look at that last week when I did my solo show. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, Kate's very classy. And she feels very kind of grounded too. All right, government shutdown. Democrats are voting down Johnson's continuing resolution. I think everybody did except for that one Democrat in Maine that's not really a Democrat. I don't remember his name. But I did see that it passed the House. It gets sent to the Senate. So I'm assuming they're going to vote on the CR to keep the government open for, I think, 2 months. And then, of course, they're on break again. So let's take a look. How's that CR going to do in the Senate? Is Schumer going to fold again? Let's take a look. All right. We have 3 of Pentacles here, which is group work, teamwork, working together. I think some of the Democrats are a bit nervous with the current economy to close the government. Trying to move into calmer waters here. Try not to rock the boat. There's negotiation here and compromise is what I'm getting. I'm not feeling a government shutdown right now, you guys. The King of Cups here, so there's a male coming in that's working hard for the collaborations to get everybody on the same page. There is some compromise here, so I don't know if the Democrats get something that they're wanting, but there's negotiation, there's compromise. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, one of the Democrats, there might even be like a resignation here because they get a lot of heat. 8 of Cups is my resignation card. I get the 6 of Wands as the final outcome. This is, there's something to celebrate. The World coming in. Knight of Wands. It's going to be heading in a bit different direction. I think they're going to get the CR passed. That's what I'm picking up on. But there is some kind of negotiation where Democrats get something out of it. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, maybe Schumer will resign as minority leader. I don't feel that quite yet, but I feel like by midterms there'll be a new leader in the Senate. But maybe somebody's considering walking away. Yeah, that's a good point. Democrats have no power without help from some Republicans, unfortunately. Yep. All right. But I'm feeling they're going to get something done with the CR. I'm not getting a lot of stress or things falling through. It feels like there's group work coming together, negotiation, but something passing. Excuse me. Pat Lee put in a good question here. With all the layoffs plus outrageous prices on everything, what will come? What will the coming Christmas season be like for those of us that are not the 1%? Yeah, I see them getting the Epstein files released from Congress, Trini. We're going to be hearing more about that here soon. They're trying to distract with all of these power grabs and, making people martyrs and trying to divide us. But I feel the truth will be coming out. There's a lot of illumination happening. All right, what's the Christmas season going to be like for us financially? Interesting. I'm not getting horrible financial cards here. I do think for some people it is going to be a bit of a struggle, and maybe for those that are struggling with the affordability of everything, maybe we return back to the traditional symbolism and meanings of Christmas. Coming together, time with family. It's not all about the gifts, although it is costly too. But Ace of Wands coming in. This is fiery, passionate, new beginnings here, strength. So we're going to get through this time. A lot of clarity and insight by Christmas is what I'm getting. For some of us, we may have to shift our perception of focusing on what Christmas means to you. There's truth, clarity, time to be creative for some of us. But I have the Ace of Pentacles here too, which is, getting new opportunities, finances, could be new jobs, that kind of thing. I'm not feeling like it's going to be a disaster, but some of us may have to shift our perception of what we want to celebrate. And I see it being okay. There's I think a lot of changes in the midst between now and Christmas. All right. Yeah, letting go of consumerism that surrounds the season. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yes, sense of community, helping each other out, working together with others. Maybe bridging some of the divides. A lot of families have been divided and separated with, our political beliefs, our moral beliefs. All right, probably do one or two more questions. I think because the energy is so heavy, we're definitely ending with seeing what the guides, what messages and wisdom they have for us all right now. DL Jersey Shore, do you still see hurricanes happening this year? Yes, I do. I feel something happening actually probably within the next week or two. I think we've been very lucky. I think even a lot of my Reiki students have been sending Reiki towards these storms and visualizing them kind of going off into the ocean away from the coast. So we have been pretty lucky. I am still feeling some activity in the Gulf and something along the East Coast. Yes. I hope I'm wrong, and if we hear about something kind of heading that way, let's all visualize it turning back out to sea. The power of prayer and intention, I think, is very powerful. So, but yet I think we've been lucky so far, but there are some storms coming for sure. All right, you guys. Oof, my foot fell asleep. Ellie Man wants us to look at Hunter Biden, how he's doing financially. He's pretty broke after spending millions on lawyers because of the trial. How's Biden doing? Let's take a look at Hunter. What was it, Melania threatening to sue him? It's so hard to keep track of everything that's happened. Was she going to do like a defamation suit? And he said he wasn't going to apologize to her and she kind of shut her up. I feel like Hunter's going to be okay. Yes, I love it, Arlene. Your Reiki circle's also sending calming energy to the approaching storms. Well, he's got some kind of security coming in here. I do feel like he's been stressed with the finances because of the legal challenges, but he's got the bird of paradise abundance here. He's been kind of juggling, but there is some opportunity here. There's a positive new break for him going forward with the star. He's got some options to choose from here going forward. Could even maybe be writing a book, something creative coming in here for him. Jill's below him. So we have Jill around him. Yeah, there's new opportunities coming in, money coming in for him. This is a time of healing for him, but then also being re-inspired, passionate energy, new beginnings here. I feel like Hunter's going to be just fine. Yeah, exactly. Melania is afraid to sue because of discovery. But what did was this when he was commenting, somebody asked him a question about, Melania being an escort for Epstein. Yeah. She doesn't want that connection coming out. I said that a while ago. There's definitely a connection between her and Epstein, and I actually feel like Epstein introduced Melania and Trump. That's what I was picking up intuitively anyway. Oh, Hunter was a speaker at Matthew Perry Foundation this week. Okay, so he's got some stuff going on. All right. Jillian wants to look at the global economy in the next couple months. Let's take a look. And Joe Biden, I feel like, is doing okay, Trini. All right, global economy. Interesting. There's a lot of new beginnings. I got a lot of aces here and the Fool card too. So there's definitely some changes. I don't get horrible news for the economy though. I get that there is some kind of partnerships, people coming together, relying and supporting one another. The Ten of Cups. So there's relationships here helping it. We got some money, some new opportunities coming in. Ace of Cups in the past, which is about relationship support, working together, heading in a new direction, but positive new direction. Some new action being taken on the global force. I mean, I get the Seven of Pentacles here, which is review and analyzing. Did we do enough? Do we do enough work to reap the best harvest? So there's some review here, but I'm not seeing devastation. All right. It feels like there's still some support, but there's people coming together to help keep things propped up and supported. All right, you guys. Let's do one more question, and then we'll let's take a look at Putin. I didn't hear about him going over Estonia. Obviously, I saw him. I heard about the drones going through Poland and NATO coming together, but because I don't have any control over the commercials or ads. Sorry if there's a lot of them. I don't have control of the content of the ads. Sometimes people tell me that there's like Republican ads and stuff like that. I don't have any control of the content or where YouTube puts ads in. I go after the show and manually adjust it. So normally it just takes 5 seconds. You can hit skip. I'm sorry. Or yeah, I don't know how much you can pay YouTube for no ads. Beltar says never had an ad on a live. Okay. All right. So what's going on with Putin and his escalation with, well, like I said, something's going on with Ukraine too, because they were coming through strongly, but it actually felt like Ukraine, I was seeing the Ukrainian flag. It felt, good for Ukraine, like them pushing back against Trump and probably getting some of NATO's support here. Putin's feeling very disappointed. I also said I feel like Putin and Trump, they've already not been getting along, but I feel like there's an ending to their friendship. There's a betrayal here coming up for Putin. I said maybe some of this Epstein stuff is actually coming out from Putin, was my feeling. Interesting. He's not in a good place, though. He's feeling very weak energetically. And a lot of times when we're seeing Putin, entertainment purposes only, I don't feel like that's the real Putin. I did not feel that was the real Putin in Alaska. He's trying to escalate things. Obviously, we already know that. Eight of Wands you can actually think of it as a projectile too. A show of force. Strong woman standing up against him. I don't read with reversals, but I actually had the Emperor come up upside down. So like that foundation that he has is falling out from underneath of him. He doesn't have the power and control that he had in the past. Yeah, there's some kind of conflict here. A lot of roadblocks, but those around him fighting with him. The economy is not doing well in Russia too. So at some point, maybe he gets pushed out a window before he can push anybody else out a window. Yeah, it's a turning point. Karma's coming in with the Wheel of Fortune. He's not doing well. I know I've said for a couple of years now that he's not in good health. I don't know what they give him to keep him alive, but he's not doing well. But he lost an ally, and I feel like it's trumping him. There's an issue there. The Empress here, Mother Russia. There's a lot of worry. To me, that feels like it's economy. But then again, a fractured relationship here. He doesn't have the support that he used to. He's trying to make new ones with China and North Korea and Iran, but I feel definitely some changes happening in Russia sooner rather than later. Ness is saying it's clear Putin and Trump are fighting. Absolutely. Well, I don't think it's so clear in the public right yet, but I've been picking that up for a couple months. Big fallout, and it's coming through in the cards again too. So, all right, you guys, we're gonna end with some messages from Spirit. I definitely feel like I need some of this too. You know, if it wasn't for Reiki, I don't know where I'd be. It's really helped me to kind of ground and settle the energy. But I've been struggling with it myself. All right, soul song. Interesting. We have the soul song come through. You can see kind of going within, connecting to the higher self, to the angelic realms. I almost feel like there's protection coming through with that card too, like Michael's energy. Let's see what the message of this card is. And the message is to tune into the soundtrack of life. Your soul emits a beautiful song. Think of it as a pulsating light moving in rhythm with the universe. Your song travels through light and is the background music of your life. Even if you can't hear your song with your physical ears, know it exists. We know animals hear sounds we can't. Your song is always resonating throughout the universe, along with the music of the spheres and the sound the universe made when it was born, the greatest song of all. You can tune into that through your heart and through your throat. Be willing to live your life from the highest, most aligned, most loving perspective. The next song or piece of music that moves your inner worlds will help you to tune into your soul song. Or you can go out into nature. The music of nature will balance and detoxify. Align with the sound of the earth, and you will find the next steps to take. Yeah, and I think that goes into that message of grounding. It's taking time to be present. But I also think being very mindful before you put your perception, the energy that you create and that you're emanating throughout the world. You know, I think a lot of us are feeling very hopeless and scared. But just doing your best to shift that, sitting in the hope, sitting in the love, emanating that into the universe, the energy that we want to create going forward. Now let me pull this down. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Appreciate all the love and support. All right, what do we need to know right now? Serenity. Yeah, and I also feel like with this soul song and this, really connecting to that heart space, finding that center, sitting in the love. Through love, release, and inner work, I know peace. Yeah, finding that inner peace within. I have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's hard because I think a lot of us are feeling really out of control. We're not feeling safe and secure. But I think it's a great time to focus on those things that you are in control of. Oh, interesting. We have sacral chakra. I pulled a crystal stone for us, and we have orange selenite, which I don't know if I've ever seen that. I think selenite would actually be very good too, because we're doing a lot of cleansing and purging with the eclipse energy. Selenite's very good for clearing. But orange selenite actually helps to manifest our dreams. And I'll just say with these cards too, I do feel like there's, not to say that it's all going to shift overnight and, be kumbaya and everything's great, but I do feel like there's a lot of hope on the horizon, even though it's hard to see that right now. Some positive change coming in. Orange selenite combines earth and moon energies to help visualize and manifest dreams and desires, improves self-esteem, enhances pleasure, and pleasure while reducing associated shame and judgment. It improves intuition and creativity. It's interesting too, because Archangel Gabriel's been kind of showing up in a lot of my client sessions lately too. And a very kind of similar energy, bringing hope, inspiration, creativity, heightened channels of that intuition as well. Let's pull one more. Pull one more card for us all. Yes, have faith, not fear. Oh, Antoinette's has orange selenite. I have never seen orange selenite. Sounds wonderful, though. All right. Any last closing messages, Spirit? Calm. I think we had this card the last time. Calm. I can remain calm under any circumstance. Today, no person, place, or thing can irritate or annoy me. I find my center, and nothing can disturb my peace. Yeah. I think setting those energetic boundaries are so important right now, too. We're in control of the energy that we're in internally, and the energy that we emanate. We're sovereign in our energy. Just try your best to sit in the energy of calm. I know it's hard with all of the suffering going on in the world. But just do your best to connect to that heart space, connect to that inner love, the inner peace within all of us. Try to have a positive point of view for the world that you want to create. All right. When sometimes we focus in on the negative, we're actually just kind of amplifying that energy out, that destructive energy. So just try to sit in the loving space, okay? The calm and peaceful state. Like I said, I get it. I was not feeling the best this morning myself, but just do those things that are uplifting for you. Go for a walk, read a good book, put those nice distractions in place so you don't focus in on all the external chaos. All right. All right, you guys, you all take really good care. Hang in there. I'm sending you all a lot of love and hugs, and I'll be on next week. All right. Make sure you check out Show with Susan if you like some Reiki healing. And if you're interested in taking the classes or getting a session with me, you can go on my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. All right. All right. You all take care. Have a good weekend. All right. Bye.